Happy Hunger Games, and may the odds be ever in your favor.
With news of another Hunger Games prequel on the horizon, we're revisiting Panem to discuss which characters from the franchise should return. Let's get started. With it confirmed that the next prequel is set during Haymitch's fateful Hunger Games, we know at least one fan favorite is returning, but as the franchise currently sits, there is a huge opportunity to learn more about some of the other dynamic characters. If we're thinking of a prequel that starts at the birth of the Hunger Games themselves, Dr. Volumnia Gaul is a must-have. Played by the incredible Viola Davis, Gaul was the head game maker since the game's conception. A mad scientist-like character, Gaul's twisted experiments and psychological manipulations are both macabre and fascinating, but it's her malevolent joy in creating them that makes her so terrifying. Seeing how the role of game maker has evolved over the decades, and discovering if it was the job that warped her morality or not, would make for a dark and fascinating story. And if we added our next character to that, we have the makings of some truly interesting Panem history. Portrayed by Elizabeth Banks in the original series, it would make for an interesting dynamic to have a young Effie Trinket learning to navigate the world of the Capitol. Though her true age is never divulged, if the movie is set up during the 50th annual Hunger Games, she would be a child. It would create an interesting juxtaposition between what we see in the districts and the upbringing of a child in the Capitol, which would give us an opportunity to see where Effie's empathy and opportunity to work with the rebels might have stemmed from, perhaps having a distaste for the Hunger Games before being brainwashed by Panem. Roughly aged around 50 when we meet her in Hunger Games Mockingjay, Collin would be working her way up to the ranks of the High Command in the hidden District 13 by the time the second Quarterquell was taking place. The history of District 13 and its quiet weight in the shadows would add another dimension to the history of Panem. As so little is known about her specifically, giving the audience insight into her rise to power and her choice of actions to get there could be invaluable to understand her decisions in the second uprising against the Capitol. The Hunger Games can gift us unending stories to explore.
I volunteer as tribute!
By incorporating any of these characters as the entry point to the history of Panem, the franchise could easily continue with the odds ever in their favor. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Blurred Wire. Don't forget to leave your thoughts below, and thank you again for joining us. We'll see you next time.